John Kavakis here for My Take, and today I want to talk to you about books. Now, if you're a collector of 1/43 models, actually any scale models, you probably have a shelf somewhere in your house that has some books on it. And those books are generally related to cars or maybe collectors one size cars, but probably in your scale. I've got some, and there's some that are fairly invaluable. I've got Jerry Redding's two books here on American wheels. I've even got a book by Wayne Moyer. Our friend Wayne Moyer did in the beginning. It's a short history on some of the white metal people. But if you're a Brooklyn collector, you probably have a collection of catalogs. That's big with us. There have been printed over time a series of collector's guides, and they've been valuable. Generally, what they are their lists of the Brooklyns that were made up to that date. These take a lot of time to compile. They take a lot of work, and a lot of them came with a lot of nice graphs and maybe some pictures in them and that sort of thing. And one would come out every 3 or 4 years or so, and there were some mighty fine efforts to that. This one here was just well done. It was loose leaf, a list of all the Brooklyns made up to that date, and so those are valuable parts of our collection. And we're always looking for some part of paraphernalia that helps us enjoy our hobby. Well, books are part of that enjoyment. I was kind of excited when I heard that there would be a new collector's guide, but I didn't really realize how big a guide this was going to be. Here's what Brooklyn has come out with. This is about a year ago. This is the new Brooklyn Collector's Guide. Now, this is the great Mamma Jamma of Brooklyn collector guides. If you're not from the United States, Mamma Jamma means the definitive edition of a collector's guide, and that's what this is. Now, this is a formidable book. It's got incredible binding. It's beautiful. It's got beautiful paper. It's high quality, high gloss paper. It's just a really well done book, and it's got almost everything that anyone would want to know about Brooklyns in it. Now, it's done by a man named Gianluigi Cappi. He's a passionate Brooklyn collector, passionate car guy. Right there at the beginning, there is a picture of him and his wife and their one collector car. And Cappi has poured his passion into this book, and it's got just about everything in it. It's all the details on the Brooklyn collection. And look, it's not just a list. There are pictures of over 1,200 Brooklyns in here. I have no idea how he got all these pictures together, but this is an exhaustive work. It must have taken him years of work to bring all this together. So he's got the Brooklyn collection, and it's not just the pictures, not just the list. There's a description of the cars in here, and you have to go no further than look at Brooklyn 1, the Pierce Arrow, Brooklyn 2, the Tucker, to see how much detail the new collector's guide offers you. So they've got the Brooklyn collection. Recently they've kind of redivided the Brooklyn models up into two sections: the Brooklyn collection, which will now be the 50s, 60s, 70s on, and the Brooklyn Limited collection, which is from the 30s and the 40s. Now, there's something interesting here, right around page 320. This is the Nicola Bulgari Center for American Automotive Heritage. It's in Allentown. Most of the cars from the Brooklyn Limited collection are featured in that center. You're going to want to remember that name and remember that location, because there's more news coming on that. We've got the Brooklyn collection, the Brooklyn Limited collection, the club and the show models, the CSV series, the International Police series is in here, the Hot Rods, US Model Mint, all they made, the Vatican collection, even the Pink collection. There's Code 2s, there's Code 3s, DMP Studios, David Angel, John Roberts, the Sidewalk collection, which I think has gone largely unnoticed but could be really valuable for diorama people. All of the collector's guides, all of the books, all of the catalogs are in here, all of the gadgets they made. It even has a special section for Gianluigi's Code 3s. So it's a fantastic collector's guide. It's a huge book. There's a complete list of all the Brooklyns in back in the index. There's one problem we have with all collector's guides. About the moment that they are published, they become obsolete. I mean, the next Brooklyn they made this obsolete. And fortunately, Gianluigi kind of saw that coming, and he was in some talks with the Brooklyn folks. And there's always been a passion for Brooklyn's clients in the Brooklyn office. Anybody who's ever dealt with Amanda knows about it. Anybody who's ever talked with John Roberts and his association know about it. But I'm going to tell you something. They have elevated this to another level. So Gianluigi has come out with an update, and this one, it looks just like the cover. And what Brooklyn has done with this is they sent this to all of the people who bought the guides for free. Now, I don't know if they're making any money on the book. I can't imagine at the price they charge it, they're making a lot of money. But this is just going above and beyond the pale for customer service. And the new update has just as much detailed information on it. All of the models made from the last Brooklyn in the guide a year and a half ago up until now. There's the pink collection in here, and they've done some really neat things. The new models are highlighted in yellow, so it's easy to pick them out. There's even an error page showing updated information that's come in, correcting some of the errors that were in, how many of a natural model were made. What colors were there. And so as Gianluigi has gotten updated information, he's included in the update, and new gadgets as well, pins and that sort of thing. The Brooklyn Guide is not a cheap book, but it's a quality book. It is well worth the entry price on it, and you have that extra note of Brooklyn customer service that goes with it. It's a great book, great guide, a fantastic update. There is an online version of the update available if you want to have a downloadable version, but just know that Brooklyn's taken a pretty good care of us on this collector's guide. So I give it a 5 stars. That's my take on the Brooklyn Collector's Guide. Thank you for joining me.